Troy, Ohio, and that's near Dayton?
No.
Yes, it is. And Dayton is the heroin capital of the country. And my favorite heroine is Wonder Woman. I did a show in Ohio for a bunch of bicycle riders and one of them had this fancy mountain bike, and I said, wow, is that a Schwinn? He said, I'll have you know, it's a Peugeot. I said, don't get huffy. So I'm walking out of the grocery store and this boy yells at me, hey mister, buy a raffle ticket for my soccer team. I said, but I don't want a soccer team. Yay! I met a guy from the Coast Guard and he said the Coast Guard is trained. If they see somebody floating this way from Cuba, the Coast Guard yells out 3 words, can you pitch? So how many of you like baseball? How many of you don't like baseball? How many of you didn't come here to answer questions? Yay! Speaking of shopping, I was shopping at a toy store and I saw a board game called What Would Jesus Do? But I saw that it cost $29.99. So I wrote on the sign, Jesus would wait till it was on sale. Hey, Jesus wouldn't pay retail, Jesus saves. Yay! So I don't have any children. Yay! This lady at work had a child and said, we're naming our daughter Nevaeh. Nevaeh, I said, what's that? Nevaeh is heaven, spelled backwards. I said, aw, isn't that stupid? So I was on the internet looking up #1 songs because I wanted to know what was the #1 song 9 months before I was born. What were my parents listening to the night I was conceived? It was by Three Dog Night, Mama Told Me Not to Come. But I really don't like music. That's why I listen to country. Because you know when you play a country song backwards, you get your wife back and your truck back and your trailer back. But that's true about other kinds of music, like if you play an opera backwards, you wake up and realize you haven't wasted 4 hours. If you play jazz backwards, you get jazz. And if you play a rap song backwards, then you trust the police, you respect women, and you learn how to spell. A rapper who can't spell, that's ludicrous. So there are signs in front of the schools where I live, and the signs are drug-free, weapon-free area. And that's not right. When I went to school, we had to pay for drugs and weapons. Well, I didn't pay for drugs, because you know the expression, experimenting with drugs? I was part of the control group. And I didn't pay for weapons, because I went to a military school. I went to a Catholic military high school. First they taught us to kill, then they taught us to feel guilty about it. It was Our Lady of Guns N' Roses. Yay! And since I'm here in Pittsburgh, I have to finish with a pandering joke. So, a couple years ago, there was a movie that came out called Draft Day. It was about the Cleveland Browns making their draft choice. And a friend of mine lives near Cleveland, and she was an extra in this movie, and she said, I don't know why they want me in this movie. I don't know anything about football. I said, it's the Cleveland Browns. None of them knows anything about it.